Construction began on the bridge in 1933. At a cost of $62 million, it was to be the largest bridge in the world. It was destined to become the workhorse of Bay Area traffic. A birthday celebration was planned to honor not only the engineering feat of building the bridge, but also to honor the men who built it, especially the 24 who died in the process.
The theme of our celebration is that we're honoring the men who built the bridge. And we've been making an effort to find all of the old-timers we can who actually worked on the bridge, and we plan a luncheon for them on Treasure Island. And also, there were 24 men killed constructing the bridge, and during that luncheon with the old-timers, and we'd have a ceremony throwing a wreath in the bay in memory of the men who lost their lives.
November 2nd, 1986, Clipper Cove, Treasure Island. A wreath ceremony to remember those who died building the bridge.
And that's with a capital T, my friends. I like to say from draftsman to craftsman. We're here to honor the living, and at this particular occasion, the dead. We're here to Rambatore. Leo.
Thank you, Bill Bagley, and ladies and gentlemen, what a beautiful day this is to celebrate this bridge. I am honored to be here today with the people who built the world's greatest bridge. It is right and proper to set this date aside to remember the contribution to this attraction, the vitality and the beauty of the San Francisco Bay Area, and indeed the world. The honor today, I say you are to be envied. You live with the pride and memory and satisfaction for having built this bridge. You just didn't dream of a great contribution. You went out and did it. Your monument stands as you build it. No one can look at this bridge for more than a moment without marveling at the great...
Father John P. Haney.
Almighty Father, you did not make a perfect world. You left it imperfect and incomplete when you gave it to us, your children, so that we might improve it and render it worthy of you and of ourselves. Of all the tasks you left us to perfect this material world, the most difficult, the most perilous, and the most important is that of bridge building. The art of joining one portion of land to another, and thus joining brothers and sisters together. Our gratitude for their dedication and courage. May they rest in peace, and may no man, whoever sees this bridge, forget the price they paid. Amen.
Al Zampa saw 3 men die during construction. He remembers the first death as vividly as though it were yesterday.
Well, one guy was just pulling a choker cable, and it had we call it something else. It got stuck, and he jerked on it, and it come up off and hit him in the mouth and knocked him over. I seen him go, and I looked down, and he'd go with that. And he hit the water. He hit flat.
Immediately following the wreath ceremony, the participants walked to the nearby Treasure Island Museum to attend a reception for bridge builders and VIPs.
Related story about the bridge?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention one little story here in a short moment. We were working on the Yerba Buena Island on the west side on the concrete anchorages, and just for a lark, my buddy and I, we walked home 2 different times over all of the catwalk, over all the towers, and down the last tower over in San Francisco. And the second time we did it, they had started to dismount the catwalk, and when we got up to one of the towers, there's about 8 feet of plank missing, so we shindied on the cable, and we thought that was quite a trick. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jensen.
Okay.
I'm Francis' ex-cousin, and I went out there in 1933 and worked on the caissons. We earned 66 2/3 cents an hour in those days, and we could only work 6 hours a day. And this gentleman is Mr. Schwartz.
I'm Bud Schwartz, and I worked on the finishing of the electrical on the Bay Bridge. I also worked on the Golden Gate Bridge. Mine was with the Alta Electric at that time, electric company I founded. Thank you.
And this gentleman, you want to help him out?
Bridge engineer. I was on the eastern section. I had that in the distribution structure. That's about all I can tell you.
That was Mr. Endersby.
He was an engineer on the bridge.
He was in the steel work, iron construction work.
Well, it's really very nice of you people to do this for us.
Yeah. What is Caltrans? Do they have that railroad, the roadway is under Caltrans, huh?
Well, the whole bridge is.
There's the connection. I wondered.
What do you plan to do with these pictures?
Mr. Birch Bachtold, Caltrain's District Director, San Francisco. We asked him how the events were going.
It's just going fine, far better than our fondest hopes. The Navy has been so cooperative, we couldn't have done this without their help, but I think everyone's having a wonderful time, particularly the old-time bridge builders.
Yeah, we interviewed the oldest and the youngest, and they were really happy.
Yes, I'm sure they were. Some of them came from quite a long distance. I'm sorry that we probably missed some, that we couldn't contact more of them.
It was very dramatic when they played the taps in the wreath ceremony.
Yes, it surely was. I think that many of us had a little catch in our throat when they conducted that ceremony.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We also asked Mr. Leo Trombatore, Director of Transportation.
I'm so grateful to the United States Navy for allowing us to share this facility with them. I think they've helped us make this ceremony a success. And Admiral Tony and his people are to be congratulated.
I see a lot of the old bridge workers here are really enjoying themselves.
Oh yes, they're so proud of what they did, and I've talked to quite a few of them, and they are so proud that they had a part in this bridge, and they can tell you exactly what section of the bridge they worked on and what date and the whole thing.
After 50 years, all that detail
Yes.
is very...
It's still there.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yes. Did you notice that one of the bridge spinners is now a medical doctor that's here with us today?
Well, that's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Evening. The Fleet Admiral Nimitz Club. A gala dinner party honoring the builders of the bridge and special guests.
Ladies and gentlemen, Key System and AC Transit researched our records to show that more than 700 million riders have crossed your bridge over the last 50 years on trains and buses. And today we are pleased to have a commuter with us who has just won a drawing on the AC Transit bus lines Trans-Bay to be here as a representative for the 700 million people that have used public transit to cross your bridge. I would like to have Linda Shepard, our board president, and Merle McCuskey, the commuter that won the drawing, to please come forward and accept the plaque. Excuse me 1 second, I better get the plaque. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Merle McCuskey. She represents 700 million people that have used your bridge on public transportation. Let's give her a big round of applause. And that's just about what the plaque says. It says, in honor of the builders and the users. I guess that closes the circle. You built a monument that is absolutely beautiful, but it's probably the most functional bridge in the world. We love you all. Thank you very much.
And now the baby born on the bridge.
The Bay Bridge. And this concludes and says, now therefore, we hereby declare Bridget Haley to be a member of our anniversary committee. Further, and listen to this, my friends, we appoint her to represent us at the 75th and the 100th anniversary observances and extend our best wishes and congratulations to our successors and to the future users of the Bay Bridge. Where are you, Phil and Patricia? Every 50 years, 2 times a century, a cake-cutting ceremony. Leo Trumbatory, Admiral Tony, Mike Woolley will now cut the cake.
Don't get too fast, gentlemen. Take it easy. Give us a little shot here. Take it easy. Give us a shot there before you start. Don't go too fast. Don't go too fast.
exhibit called E-Clampus Vitus, which honors California's rough and ready past. Radio station KKCY was also at the event after months of calling the Bay Bridge the Emperor Norton Bridge. The San Francisco archivist tells us that the man receiving all of this tribute came to the city in the 1840s.
They came to honor Joshua Norton.
On the morning of November 12th, ceremonies got off to an early start at the Oakland Hyatt Regency, where a Bay Bridge birthday breakfast was held for vintage car owners and invited guests. It was sponsored by Oakland Mayor Lionel Wilson's ad hoc committee. After the breakfast, the guests gathered at the Bay Bridge Toll Plaza for a chain-cutting ceremony.
Wilson of Oakland. Mayor, would you honor us with a few historic words, please?
Well, this is a tremendous day. I was a small boy when this Bay Bridge was opened 50 years ago. And this is a day that I never thought I would participate in, but it's a historic day, not only for Oakland, but for the entire Bay Area. Caltrans certainly is to be congratulated for the outstanding job they do in maintaining this bridge. This bridge is maintained in a manner that makes it a bridge that is always clean, it's always in great shape. It's in the same kind of shape it was when it was built and opened some 50 years ago. As mayor of the city of Oakland, and on behalf of all of the people of Oakland and the East Bay who use this bridge, thousands of them every day, there is no bridge in the country which serves the people as well as this bridge does. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Before the mayor cuts the chain, I'd like to have a few words from the man who is in charge of keeping this bridge operating, Mr. Birch Bachtel, Director of the District 4, Department of Transportation.
Thank you very much, Bob, and thank you, Mayor, for agreeing to reenact this very great occasion. I understand, though, that the mayor has received some special instructions. When Governor Merriam cut this chain 50 years ago on a signal from President Roosevelt via telegraph, he not only cut the chain with his acetylene torch, but he set one of the spectators on fire. I'm sure that Mayor Wilson won't do that today. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
That'd be great. Thank you, Birch. Well, Mayor, are you ready? I'm ready. Well, let's cut the chain. And when the chain falls, I'll give the signal and we'll release the balloons.
Steady as she goes.
All right.
A little bit more.
Release the balloon! Release the balloon!
I have my union card. Yeah.
Release the balloon!
Cross the bridge in a bridge across time, in one's own time machine, a vintage car. Upon completing the exciting sun-drenched ride, various dignitaries held a plaque unveiling ceremony at 5th and Bryant Streets.
the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge, the embodiment in concrete and steel of mankind's greatest aspiration, to bridge the gap between what is and what could be, to narrow the distance between people, to connect the present with the future. And what seems commonplace today was, in 1936, a work of monumental human commitment. "50 years later, we honor the birthday of a dream triumphant, remembering the work, the sacrifice, the sorrow, and we join together to celebrate the feelings we share, the feelings in the air tonight."